Hello everyone, this is Mumbo here, welcome back, and today we are back on the HermitCraft server. It's good to see you all here, still enjoying my Let's Play episodes. Now this is the first time that I have recorded a video in about a week, so if everything sounds a little bit different to usual, then that is why. I am feeling very rusty at the minute. In fact, even playing Minecraft on the HermitCraft server feels a tiny bit odd. It's just strange. I've only taken about 2 days off of Minecraft and already it feels foreign. But I am absolutely loving it at the minute. I am back on the HermitCraft server now and I'm really enjoying myself. The latest HermitCraft episode obviously came out last week and the response to it so far has been absolutely amazing. You guys really loved that episode and I don't really know why. Considering when I uploaded it, I was like, you know what, this isn't my best HermitCraft episode, but I think I am now getting the balance between work and play. It used to be that I would make as much progress as possible and not show much in between, which turns out wasn't actually the best method. Some people really found that quite off-putting. They felt like they couldn't follow along with what I was doing. So I think I'm getting a fairly decent balance now, which is great. All the comments are being very positive. They're like, yes, you're getting better at these time lapses, you're fitting them in at better intervals, and everyone seems to be pretty happy with the HermitCraft episodes at the minute. But anyway, we're not going to be talking about last episode, obviously. We are going to be cracking on with what we've got to do today. We have a bunch of different projects planned, another one in the spawn area, and we're also going to head over to the Redstone Consultancy and see if we've got any projects laid out. Now, as some of you have hopefully noticed by now, there was not a bonus episode on Wednesday because I uploaded a vlog. At least I hope I did. It is currently Wednesday at the minute. I just recorded a vlog, and if I do end up doing a HermitCraft bonus instead, then I have cowered it out of that decision, and that was a bad idea and a waste of about an hour. But yeah, you got a vlog, and hopefully... What is this? What's happened here? Oh dear. Oh, I didn't light up the redstone consultancy at all. Yeah, we forgot to add in the redstone lamps, and it would appear that a creeper is our first customer. Our creeper is the first customer of the redstone consultancy. You know, a lot of people were like, you should build a redstone door. Thank God I didn't, because that would have been it gone. But I guess, yeah, these are the items for the consultancy that have gone astray. Oh, what a shame. That was stupid of me, wasn't it? Right, well, unfortunately I just checked the chest and there have been no customers, probably due to the fact that the front half of my little building has been dismantled. That would generally put away a couple of customers. Like if I turned up to a shop and the whole frontal area was missing, I wouldn't be buying much from there myself. So I guess the first thing that we're going to be doing in this episode is we are going to be rebuilding the redstone consultancy. It wasn't a planned project, and it's definitely not going to take very long. I am going to have to gather up a couple more resources because I think the creeper has probably destroyed a few of them. But I'm going to get to work on that one, and then we will continue on with our little chat. The redstone consultancy is now back to its former glory. Good as new. Ready for business. Get your customers in there. Head over to the chest and throw down your request. Please do. HermitCraft members that are watching this, head on over here and just place anything down. I mentioned that right at the start of this episode now. You've got no excuses because I know you're busy, guys. I can't expect you to sit through 25 minutes of video to get the details. You're now in the first 5 minutes. Get on over there. Place down a redstone project that you want me to do. I would be happy to give it a go. Name your price in the book. And yeah, we will come to some form of negotiation. But now, I'm just charging about spawn. Charging about spawn willy-nilly, trying to look at house designs. And obviously I've headed straight over to Corrales' area because, well, who better to look at? Because what I want to do is build myself a house. I really need a house in the HermitCraft spawn area. There's no two ways about it. I can't be sitting here completely homeless, huddled away in my jungle. I actually need a proper spot in the HermitCraft town. I believe I claimed myself a spot over here, so we shouldn't have any troubles there. But I need to find some inspiration, because what I want is a typical English cottage. I want it to look very British and nice and splendid, if you get what I mean. And I, as I've mentioned many times, I'm not much of a builder. I'm not very good at building traditional type things. I'm good at modern and I'm alright at jungle now, but the sort of traditional builds or like the medieval things that Corrales has been doing, I can't do any of that. So I'm going to have to head onto Google Images and get some house pictures for inspiration, throw them up on my second monitor and try and do my best to replicate them in Minecraft. Now I'm going to get things started by going into a testing world and doing that first, and then I'll show you what I can come up with. On the screen should be some footage of me designing and building the house, and while that's playing I thought I would have another little chat to you about a couple of things that have been going on. The first one being, I have got myself a new donations reward scheme, which is quite exciting because I've had a donations reward scheme ever since I started accepting donations on the channel, which is around about a year ago now. And it's always been the same. I did remove it from the description around about 2 months ago because I felt like it needed revising, and I finally got to work on doing it. Now the reason that we have one of these things is quite simply because I need a way of thanking certain people. For example, if people donate £15, I think it's a sign and then a little mention in the videos, and that's lovely. If you want to donate £15, then that is fine. But then if someone donates £70, obviously that is a huge amount of money. And I'm not saying that £15 isn't a lot, because that is still a large amount of money to donate to someone. But £70 is massive, and I felt like that needed something else. So I believe that will get you a sign, 2 houses, and also a bit of Mumbo mail. And that is what I'm really excited about. I want to send out some of this. Basically, what it's going to be is me sending out some mail, some thank you letters to anyone that donates that amount. You'll have an envelope, maybe a personalised stamp if I can get that done, which is doable. There are websites that do it, so that would be really nice, and it will be sent out. It would have a little thank you letter, perhaps a couple of other bits and bobs, maybe a signed thing, I don't know, but it will be a handwritten letter to you that will be saying thank you. And I think that sounds like a really, really cool idea, a great way to say thank you to all of those that are donating their hard-earned cash, and I am very excited to send out the first piece of Mumbo mail. But of course the Mumbo mail isn't the only reward that you can get. Like I mentioned, you can get a sign, and also anyone that donates a certain amount of money will also be getting a house in the HermitCraft village, which is my own personal village, not the actual Hermitown. It's my own personal village, and you will get yourself a renamed villager, which is quite nice. It will be a nice little touch to have in the place, so I am certainly excited for this new donations reward scheme. Now the next thing that I want to talk about that is also quite exciting for me, perhaps not so much for you, is that I have bought something else for the channel, and that is a MacBook Air. Now I know a lot of you have just closed down your computers, turned them off and been like, nope, I don't want to watch this guy anymore. But the reason that I bought it is because I find Mac operating system to be very nice to use. I used to use it on my old Apple Mac and I absolutely loved it, and I still sort of miss it. I use Windows 7, which is fantastic. It's really good for everything, but I do sort of prefer OS X, and that is just me. I find it to be more intuitive, and also the reason that I've got the MacBook is because I want to use it for college work. It's going to be my productivity thing. A lot of people are like, oh, why would you buy a MacBook? They're rubbish for gaming. I don't game on a laptop. If I want to game, I will sit down on my amazing PC and play games like there's no tomorrow. But if I'm sat downstairs chilling out, I don't want to be getting into a hardcore gaming session, and that is the reason I chose the MacBook Air. It is pretty good at doing other various tasks. For example, it does handle video editing fairly well, so you might see a couple of videos edited from there instead of my PC. Obviously, you won't know the difference, but I certainly will. It basically means that I can do a couple of things on the go, which I haven't been able to do, because I've never owned a laptop ever in my life before, and I'm very excited for this one arriving. It's coming in tomorrow before 9:30, and I'm going to be at the door waiting. I'm buzzing. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the cottage that I have come up with, and I think it is okay. There are still a couple of things that I'm a little bit annoyed about. First off, this whole giant roof area here, A, is off-centered, which is stressful enough, but B, it seems a little bit boring. But the reason that it's like that is so that it can link up to this other second part over here, which is like a little extension to the house. Now, I haven't done any of the inside just yet, simply because I feel like I needed to do the exterior before I do the inside, but having said that, this is my first time inside the house. I think it looks pretty decent already. I quite like the way that the roof curves round. That looks okay, so it's not really too bad. Just get some carpets in or something like that, and it will look the bomb. But yeah, I'm in two minds about this one. It also feels like the roof's a bit too big for the house itself, and perhaps it's a little bit low to the ground. You can see it's only 2 blocks high. That's quite small. I don't know if we should downsize the actual size of the house, maybe. That might be worth considering. I don't really know. It's always a tough decision with building. I always struggle with it. But anyway, I'm going to get to work on the interior and see what I can come up with there, and then I'll catch you in a bit. Guys, this is why you should always look at your plot before you start designing things. Because it says here, Mumbo's house here, that's fine, except for the fact that A, the plot is quite small, and another thing that I hadn't quite considered just yet is the fact that it's going to require a lot of clay to get all of those bricks to build this. Like, that is a huge amount of clay, and we don't have much space to work with, which is fine, because I really like the plot that we've got here. So we might have to go for a minor redesign of the house, perhaps make it a little bit smaller. I'll take a look into what I can do, but that really has cheesed me off, because that took around about 3 hours to work out a design for that house, and I'm not kidding. I did about 5 different designs, and I did think that the house that I'd finally built was considerably larger than the first, but it turns out it was considerably larger, to the point where we can't actually build it. And I don't know, I'm feeling a little bit down about that one, a little bit down in the dumps, as I'm sure you can tell. But I'm going to go back into my testing world and get back to work on a different build. I apologise for that. The house that I've just spent ages talking about is not actually going to be built, which is a really big shame, and I'm feeling pretty rubbish. But like I said, keep your head up high, and we're going back into the testing world. We're going to get building once again. Over here, you can see the... I'm not going to do that accent again. You guys loved it, but over here, you can see the old cottage, and then over here, you can see the new cottage. It's like 30% smaller, which makes it better. Yeah, I'm really happy with this one. I actually honestly prefer this. The other one, it had its flaws. You know, the roof came down far too low. We fixed that. I also feel like the roof was way too high. It was a bit too big for his own boots, and this section just didn't work as well. So over here we've simplified things, and it's all looking very nice and homely. It's a small little house. It's not going to make a giant dent on the landscape, which this one never was going to either, but it's not going to be like as impressive, which is good. We want to be understated, just slotting into the town, not messing anyone up or creating a big fuss with our giant house. It's just going to fit right in there. It's going to be looking good. As always, I haven't done the inside just because I get onto that later on, and generally speaking I never end up doing it, but trust me, I will try to remember doing this one because it is my own house, so I probably should. But yeah, this is the cottage. I like it. So now we're going to hop onto the HermitCraft server and get to work. Okay everyone, so we are back on the HermitCraft server. It's been about an hour to an hour and a half since the last cut. I have been doing a bunch of resource gathering. I hadn't quite realised just how much clay this would require. We needed to get 8 stacks of the little clay spots to just get 2 stacks of these bricks, and that was a very long time. All of the areas in the surrounding zone around the town have been completely destroyed for clay. Everyone has got almost all the clay. I think everyone on the HermitCraft server went a bit mad for hardened clay in the beginning. I mean, you can't look around without seeing some of it. Of course, it is on the towers, but I'm talking elsewhere. Just everyone was using it, and that has meant that there really isn't that much left. So when I went over to my base, there's still a tiny amount over there, but even some of that has been taken. So it really did take a very long time to get all of that clay together, and hopefully it is enough. Other than the clay, we also have some wood and a little bit of cobblestone. We all know how much I love using cobblestone, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to slip it into this build. I think it wouldn't really fit with what we're going for here, but you never know. I can often try. But other than that, I guess I should stop waffling on and get to work on building this place. So it's going to be going here, obviously. This is our plot, and I'm going to lay out where everything has to go first, so we can get a rough idea of how it's all going to fit in, because even though I have claimed the spot and I have made the house a little bit smaller, it's still going to be a very tight squeeze. I might have to get rid of the tree farm that I built a while ago. I know it's alright, but King Happy has a much better tree farm that everyone else uses, so I might have to get rid of that one to make way for my house, but who knows what could happen. I'm just going to get to work, start building the little template, and then I'll catch you in a bit. Progress update number 1, part of the house is now complete. You can see I've been trying to get a rough idea of how everything is going to be fitting in. I've slightly bent the path, only very slightly, just so we can fit my house in with a little bit of space. You definitely don't want it to be like right on the edge here, because then it looks a little bit silly. So this is what we've got. We have the entrance area that's going to have fence posts there. That's one thing that I forgot to bring with me, which was a bit of a schoolboy error, but hey ho. And then around the back you can see we've got the flat wall here, and I don't know what I'm going to be doing with this, because it could be considered to be fairly boring. Say you're coming in from this direction, there is not going to be anything special about the house from this side. When you're going along that path there, it looks alright. You're going along and you're seeing the little extra area on the edge, and you're like, this looks okay. But from the other side, perhaps it's not so hot. Maybe when other houses get built, like for example Topmas has claimed this spot, when it starts to fit in a little bit more, then it might look a little bit better. But at the minute it's sort of just sitting there on the landscape. There's nothing really surrounding it, so I don't know, we might have to work on a couple of extra houses in spawn just to fit in with mine. Who knows? But anyway, that is all I've done so far. I'm going to get back to work on this one. Hopefully we'll have all of the walls up by the next update, so let's see what we can do. I have done a little bit more on the house, of course. Just popped back to my base to pick up some supplies, but there it is on the horizon. There she is, the beautiful house of Mumbo. Of course, we're going to have to put some signs on this build so people know that it is mine. And yes, I am surviving off melon. I forgot to pick up some steak, and it's really starting to stress me out. I used to live on this stuff. This is all I used to eat, and I just can't believe I used to do it. The amount of inefficiency there, waiting while my food bar goes up. Ugh, horrible. But here it is. It's not looking too bad. We've got the windows in. All of the bricks are laid, so yes, we did easily have enough bricks to do this build. I don't know why I was worrying so much, but obviously it is missing a very main component, that being the roof. Otherwise we're going to be very wet inside there, which is exactly what we don't want. So I'm going to get to work on the roof, and we'll see what it looks like once it's done. It is all beginning to come together, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, our house is looking very nice. I love that little angle there. It looks like something out of a cartoon or something, like the perfect household. But yeah, if we take a look around the side, you can see I'm still missing a fairly substantial part of my roof, but I have run out of wood. So I'm going to have to head over to King Happy's tree farm and pick up a little bit more. But yeah, this is looking awesome. I am loving this house. That's good stuff. Okay, the exterior of our house is now complete, and I am one very happy bunny. It is looking pretty picturesque, if you're asking me. However, like I did mention, if you look at it from this side, it just looks pretty boring. But I guess we could put some like reeds and things like that on the outside. Perhaps some bushes, trees, bone meal the ground around it. You know the drill. But yeah, the outside is done. It's looking great. Now we can take away all of this rubbish. Like, we don't need any of that anymore. And we definitely don't need this crafting table anymore, so we can pick that up in a bit. But now we are going to have to start work on the inside. We don't have a lot of space to work with, unfortunately. That's just the nature of this build. It's quite small, but we can try our best to come up with something smooth. So I'm going to put the interior in, like the carpets and things like that, and then we'll see what we can do as far as the furnishing is concerned. I have put in a couple of the furnishings, and I don't know, I'm so awful at this kind of thing. I cannot create homes in Minecraft. I can create houses, just can't create a home. They're slightly different. But I do have the standard chest, the crafting table, couple of furnaces, bunch of shelves, and then a little counter here. God knows who's going to be using this, but we've got views outwards, I suppose. It's looking good. It's looking good. But now what we have to do is place down our doors. And I was given a tip that I'm going to try and work out how it works. You place the door like that, and then close it. There we go. That works. And then apparently zombies aren't going to be able to break through that, apparently. That's how that works. They're a little bit like on the outside there. They're sticking out a wee bit, but it looks okay. And then we're going to place our sign. So what do we want this to say? Mumbo's humble Abode. Wipe your feet. Don't want any mucky floors, do we? I know we've only got stone floors. It's not like we've got carpet or any... Oh, that's annoying. Don't know if that's going to work. But I know we've only got stone floors, but, you know, we don't want dirt and stains. None of that. We want this to be clean and pristine. Boop, there we go. Thumbnail for this video has been taken. Look at that. It looks pretty fantastic from here, doesn't it? We've even got the floating islands in the background. Now, I always say the wrong person built these. I believe, if I remember correctly, it was Zombie Cleo who did the floating islands. I hope I have got that correct. If not, then scream in the comment section, because I want to know that I've got that wrong. I always give credit to Zombie Cleo for those, and I can never remember if it is her. But if it is her, then you should definitely check her out. If not, then just don't. Avoid it. No, I'm joking. They're all great YouTubers on here, so yeah, check out Zombie Cleo as well. But whoever built those, very talented. But unfortunately, I'm going to stop rambling on about the islands up here, because it is the end of today's episode. I know it's been a bit of a train wreck episode this week. It feels like we didn't really get a lot done, and that is because we didn't really get a lot done. I spent ages designing the house and doing some fairly nonsensical stuff that didn't really need to be done urgently, and that did set us back. I've also got a bunch of other excuses that I could use, aka I went back to college this week, and other things have happened that I don't fancy bringing up because they're quite sad. But, you know, it's fine. I'm not going to put that on you. Just, I hope that you did enjoy this episode on the HermitCraft. If you did, please be sure to hit that like button. And if you really did love it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.